All right, let's get right into it. Talk about what happened in Columbus this weekend. They held a big party on Sunday to celebrate Ohio State's national championships. The crowds braved the winter chill to fill the horseshoe for speeches from the football team and to sneak a peek at the playoff trophy, of course.
I'm just so thankful that I got the chance to be here and to be a Buckeye. And I truly believe that God has a plan for all of us. And God's plan brought me here to Ohio State for a reason. And I'm just so blessed that I got to share this with all of you, all my brothers out here, my coaches, my family out here in the stands, and my family, that is all of you, Buckeye Nation and the state of Ohio.
When you get punched in the mouth, you always get back up and keep fighting. And that's what everybody in Ohio does and will continue to do. And with that being said, I think it's a good time to announce that I'm coming back for my 5th year. I'm just kidding. Coach Day and Coach Johnson said it's time to get out of Columbus.
And you better know that the best damn team in the land resides right here in Columbus, and the national championship trophy is back where it belongs in the great state of Ohio.
One person who was noticeably absent from Sunday's festivities was former Ohio State defensive coordinator Jim Knowles. He was reportedly asked to stay away from the party due to the ongoing discussions with Penn State, and on Sunday, it became official. Knowles will reportedly make $9.3 million over 3 years as the Nittany Lions' new defensive coordinator. Lots to unpack here, Joshua. I want to ask you how significant this move is, but there's certainly some drama that went on beyond the scenes, beyond the money. If you could kind of paint the picture for us and then give us the significance for both programs.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is significant from the Ohio State standpoint. They had the best defense in the country this year. There was one bad game that they played, and it was against Oregon. And after that game, discussions were had in that building. The defense morphed. No more problems from that point on. Ohio State's going to have to make a splash with this hire. I think there are a couple of candidates to look at internally, but they've probably got to look external for this one. And since everybody's trying to poach a roster, I might as well poach a great defensive coordinator from one of these other teams out here. Now, from the discussions that I've been having with people behind the scenes, there's probably a little bit of tension between Ryan Day and Jim Knowles in terms of what the defense really needed to look like, how much of Jim Knowles' system was going to be truly involved. And I think after the Oregon game, the changes that were made, maybe there was some ego that was brushed there. It's hard to turn down $3 million, Jake, but I do think that this isn't just about the money. Money is a factor in this one, but I don't think you leave a championship team and take a lateral job just for the money in this situation. Ohio State got close. I don't think it was that much to sneeze at. Now, for Penn State, I don't know if this makes a difference for me. The defense was never the issue. The defense was not the issue for Penn State. They have a phenomenal coordinator. I think the defense is going to be good once again. $3 million to me feels like an overpay. Not because Jim Knowles isn't worth $3 million or shouldn't be the highest paid coordinator in college football. I think he's earned that right. It's an overpay because they didn't need to get this guy to make sure that their defense was still going to be good.
You know, we just saw the Chiefs beat the Bills last night. I know in Columbus the expectation, or at least the desire, is to win multiple championships and repeat and go back to back to back. And it's just so hard to do that. And this move has significance in the sense, in order to repeat, boy, do you benefit from keeping the main cast of characters together. And it is hard to do that while managing your own ego, while managing outside narratives. And there was certainly a lot of drama and expectations that Ohio State had to balance this year. Ultimately, they got it done. Congratulations. But this move feels like the drama behind the scenes finally came home and split up the band a little bit. How that applies for Penn State going forward is, James Franklin, again, I go back and use the Chiefs example. For Penn State, if they want to win and get over the next level, they have to elevate in the big moments. I don't think Jim Knowles is the reason that they had not elevated in the biggest moments. He's a great defensive mind. Penn State's defense has been great. I don't think this brings them closer to their goals. For Ohio State, though, I do wonder, Joshua, because it's not just Jim Knowles. Now you're replacing your quarterback. You're replacing guys all across the roster. This was a veteran roster now that you have to fill those holes along with one of your great defensive coordinators. So I do have concerns for Ohio State, alongside the fact I don't know that this brings Penn State any closer to their goals.
I will say, if there is a time to install a new defense, it's when you're working in guys who haven't played. right? It would be a shame if you had the veteran group that had all played together under the same system, and then you had to install the new defense. Now that you've got some guys who maybe haven't played, you go out and pick the coordinator that would best fit them. It's a really tough spot to be in coming off of a championship. But you have the opportunity to pick whoever you want to suit the players that are currently on the roster. I think that's a real opportunity.
I want to get back to the question there at the bottom of the screen because, man, every year we've been asking this for Penn State, and I think the fact that they got so close this year, and you're returning your quarterback, your running back, you're returning key pieces across the place, and now you go out and make Jim Knowles the highest-paid defensive coordinator in college football. Highest-paid coordinator. That's a lot of money. Is it championship or bust next year for Penn State?
I think people are going to say yes because they're going to look at the last two champions, Michigan and Ohio State, and they're going to see the way that they've gotten it done. They're going to see the fact that you can win a championship in the North, and they're going to look at Penn State as the next step. I would say we have to stop doing this championship or bust thing. It almost killed Ohio State this year. And the reality is it's really difficult to judge the success of your team off of one thing that only one team can do. Like you have other markers that you can look at to say whether the season was successful or not. Like Penn State, if they go in, they run the table in the regular season, win the Big Ten championship. Let's say they don't win a national title. I would say that's a pretty damn successful season for the Nittany Lions here. So I feel like you back yourself into this corner of not even being able to appreciate anything you do all year long when you set championship or bust expectations. But I think that's what people are looking at.
That's the wise take, but that's not what sports fans do. And that's not what Penn State. I mean, just again, the fact that they were so close, they could taste it, and they came up short in the Big Ten championship. They lost in similar fashion to Notre Dame. This is an exciting move, but there's still bigger questions. Like who's Drew going to throw the ball to?
Go get some wide receivers.
You got to go get some wide receivers.
Yeah.
You just spent a ton of capital there. And then for the Buckeyes, going forward, which we'll cover, Chip Kelly may not be there next fall for Ohio State. So that's something we're going to have to watch.